Steel boots stomping, crashing the floor. Two wild yinzers kicking through the door. Loud like a jag off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Dumb yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Woo! Welcome back to the show. Yeah, this is episode 736 of the Two Dumb Yinzers. Welcome back. Yeah, man, I got to tell you, Mike, I'm excited to get back at it. Chomping at the bit. We got a lot, and I mean a lot of things to talk about today. As I'm pulling material this morning, I couldn't believe how much stuff just kept popping up. So sit back, relax, hang out. It's going to be a fun one, guys. Good morning to Mike. Mike, how you doing today, brother?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. Doing great. Doing fan-frickin-tastic, man.
Good. Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. Man, there's a lot of things going on, Mike. Today, they are wrapping up the marathon up in Pittsburgh.
Yes.
For some odd reason, people like to get together and run for miles and miles and miles and miles. I'll never get it, but you know what? At the end of the day, good for them. It's gotta be a good thing to do, right?
Yeah. My cousin, him and his wife used to run marathons. I'm not sure if they do, but they did. They would do the Pittsburgh Marathon when they did. And one year, my cousin ran as Forrest Gump. He had the big bushy beard because he just got out of the Air Force. He's like, I'm not shaving, and he just let it go. Big bushy beard, dressed like Forrest Gump. Got interviewed by Dan Potash after the race because Potash was there talking to people that looked interesting. So he saw my cousin like, yeah, I got to talk to this cat. So yeah, like that was cool. But yeah, you're never catching this fat ass running a marathon unless we're running to marathon gas stations to pick up some munchies. At midnight.
My running years are way behind me, and you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm 100% okay with not running anymore. It's not my thing.
No, not mine. Like, I will run in the yard when I'm chasing the kid, but after like 5 minutes, every bone and joint in my body is yelling at me.
Yeah, that's even a push too. I mean, I just yell, "Get over here! Get over here!" And you know what? Once he gets splat by the car, then you know what? I know I don't have to run anymore.
You don't. Yeah, exactly. Problem solved on all ends.
That's what I'm thinking. That's the way I look at it.
Then he could have the little wheelchair, and you could keep up with that.
Yes, right. Good morning on the board to Caleb. What's up, brother?
What up?
Caleb says he's planning his first sporting event since February 2020. This week, he's pumped. What are you going to, brother? What are you going to, man? What's going on right now? They got basketball, I guess. What's up, Yinzer Joe? Yinzer Joe says, "Sub Yinzers, everyone in a better." Yeah, man. We're happy people.
We're ecstatic. I built my bar this weekend, so I'm very happy.
Yeah, you built a bar?
I built a bar.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah. No, great moods all around. Welcome back to the show, Yinzer Joe. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. I wanted to start before we start today. Talk about this. I don't know if you've seen online over the weekend, maybe for even further into last week, but they got this stupid thing that I don't know they must create with AI. It's the 100 men versus a gorilla.
Fuck yeah!
Now,
that's the content I'm here for.
Okay, so my thing is this, Mike. I created a roster. I created a roster that could beat the gorilla.
Okay.
Because of course you see this footage and this AI, and of course this gorilla is just killing everybody. It shows 100 men rushing the gorilla, and the gorilla just freaks out, and the men are flying everywhere. So I took it upon myself to build a roster. Okay. Like, I want you to tell me, I want to see if this roster could fit the bill, because we have to find out a way to beat that damn gorilla. It disturbs me, like the 100 people, 100 men just stand no chance to the gorilla. So Mike, this is my lineup. You ready?
Okay.
Now this is in their prime. This is it's not everybody right this moment. First off, I did the first 50 as groups, and then the last 50 as individuals. The groups go like this. It's going to be 10 big retards first. Because you know how them retards got that retard strength?
Oh my God.
I'm saying we send 10 retards first. And then we have 10 Navy SEALs. Not big. I mean, they are good fighters and tactical, but they're very smart. So I want 10 Navy SEAls on my team, 10 retards,
10 and
10
10.
Navy SEAls, 10 Vikings, like Vikings from like back in the day, Vikings,
Okay.
like big, Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
And then 10 sumo wrestlers, 10 sumo wrestlers. And then to round out the 50 group, the 50 of the groups, Mike, 5 Marines and 5 Army Rangers. So my top 50 or my first 50 to take on the gorilla is 10 retards, 10 big retards. They gotta be big retards.
Well, like Lenny from
Lenny
from Mice and Men.
He just wants to pet the rabbits.
He just wants to pet the rabbit.
So there's 10 big retards, 10 Navy SEAls, 10 Vikings, 10 sumo wrestlers, 5 Marines, 5 Army SEAls. Now I'm going to go through this rather quick because it's 50 individuals. But Mike, I want you to tell me if you think that this team that I put together could take on that stupid gorilla.
Okay.
Number 1, Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
2, Andre the Giant. Now again, this is in these guys' prime, not in current, not in a current state where Andre the Giant, of course, has been dead for many years. Number 2, Andre the Giant. Number 3, The Big Show.
Well, it's The Big Show.
Number 4, Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson in his prime, again in their prime. Number 5, Mark Henry. Mark Henry.
Yeah.
Number 5, Mark Henry. Number 6, Ray Lewis.
Oh yeah.
Number 7, James Harrison.
Yep. Debo.
8, Kimbo Slice.
Kimbo Slice. An interesting fact, James Harrison's nickname, Silverback.
Silverback. Mike, number 10. So this wraps out my 60 top people on my team that's going to beat the gorilla. Number 9, Bruce Lee. Got to have Bruce Lee.
Gotta.
And number 10, just because size alone, Viscera. Remember the wrestler, the big black guy, Viscera?
Yes.
Okay. So that rounds out my top 60. Number 11 on my individual list, that guy Magnus, that big Swedish guy.
Oh, yeah.
It's always on those competitions and wins them all.
Magnus for Magnuson.
Magnus for Magnuson.
ESPN2, baby.
Number 12, Ken Shamrock. He was once the baddest man alive.
Baddest man on the planet. Still a badass.
Number 13, GSP, the great UFC fighter.
Yeah, yes.
Number 14, Anderson Silva, also of the UFC. And remember, guys, this is in their prime. Number 15, Mike, the great Khali, because of his size.
Oh, he's huge. He's a giant.
Number 16, Yokozuna. Yokozuna's got to be in on this.
Yes.
Number 17, Kane. How can Kane not be in this list? Number 18, in his prime, Muhammad Ali. He could, he could throw some punches.
Yeah, he could.
Number 19, Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Boxer now, heavyweight. Number 20, George Foreman, again in his prime.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Mike. So we're at 21 to 50 now. 21, Mean Joe Green. Mean Joe Green.
Easily.
22, Dick Butkus.
Yes.
He was a bad man, Dick Butkus. Number 23, Mike. Mike Webster. Straight beast. Again, I'm putting together 50 individuals who are just bad dudes to take out this gorilla. Next on the list, Chuck Norris. Got to have Chuck Norris. They make just because they make jokes.
Because of the meme. Because of the meme. Yeah.
And of course, you got to remember this isn't real, so you got to put that in consideration.
You got to put that in consideration. Yes.
So now after Chuck Norris, Larry Allen, the big tackle for the Cowboys.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Back in the 90s. Next on the list is Joe Frazier, the boxer. Number 3, next guy, Debo from Friday. He died.
Just hey, you got to get that gold chain.
Then I'm just gonna let me read through the names here for a little bit. Anybody pops up that you want to comment, do so. Next on the list is Lou Ferrigno, the Hulk, The Rock, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Triple H, Jack Lambert, Greg Lloyd, that big guy Ono from the WWE that was taking on Brock Lesnar for a while.
Okay, yeah.
He was like a 7-foot black guy.
Yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Yep.
Hulk Hogan. Now I'm getting down to the end of my list. So these people aren't as effective, but they're still, nonetheless, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Tank Abbott, Big Papa Pump, I mean, come on.
You got to.
He's a freak of nature.
He'd be doing Steiner math out there. Oh, no, wait, I was thinking someone else. Yeah, wait, you're right. Yeah.
Evander Wilder,
Ooh,
the boxer.
Nice one.
Sylvester Stallone, and then again, these guys. I'm getting to the end. I mean, it was getting tough.
Yeah.
Goldberg. A regular guy, just because he's a bad guy in his community, a tough dude. I'm gonna go Suge Knight is my last normal human being.
That's a good one right there.
But then I do have some more. I have some not normal human beings that I added as well.
Okay.
Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, and Michael Myers, because they all had that super strength.
Yes.
Superman. Where's my last two? Genghis Khan.
Oh.
And Attila the Hun.
Oh, good calls at those two right there.
So those are my 50 guys.
Yeah.
On top of
that's a good list.
The 10 big retards, the 10 SEALs, the 10 Vikings, the 10 sumo wrestlers, 5 Marines, 5 Army SEAls. But yeah, that is Mike. Tell me
that's a good lineup right there.
That 100 men might be able to beat that gorilla.
Yeah, according to that AI simulation, because I saw that one, they had that gorilla like standing like 12 feet tall.
Yeah, right.
There's some nonsense like that. So yeah, in the hypothetical, that's a solid squad. We're go through and read the comments. There's some good picks in there too. I like that, but yeah, that list we have a fighting chance. I think Superman might put us over the top.
Well, we got Caleb over here telling me Superman ain't real. Next he's gonna try to tell me the Easter Bunny isn't real, but. We ain't gonna have to worry about that. He's not fighting the gorilla. I'm talking about the Easter Bunny. Good morning to everybody on the board. I do want to say good morning to Caleb, Tortilla, User Joe, Big John Stud, middle name Mud. What's up, everybody? I don't want to leave anybody out. Let me try to get you caught up here real quick.
Yeah, I think
User Joe making a statement just about your bar. A good bar and a stand wakes up a better mood in any man. There you go. Okay, so Caleb is going to the basketball game. He's going to the Indiana Pacers in the Cleveland Cavs game 3 or game 4. And I'm going to be honest, I hope the Cleveland Cavs get their asses kicked, just because in Cleveland, they just, I just, you know what it is? What is it about Cleveland? I just can't stand to see those people happy. I just can't stand to see them happy.
Because it's a carbon copy of Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And
I like happy Pittsburghers. I just don't like happy Cleveland.
Exactly. Because if they're happy, we're sad. So if we're happy, they're sad. That's the balance right there.
Well, I hope Indiana wins. I think Boston's ultimately going to win this whole thing, but we will wait and see on that. Game 4 is on Mom's Day, and tickets are 30% cheaper in some cases.
Go to that game. 30% off, baby.
Take Mom. What the hell? Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Let's see. Caleb says, I say we call it Philly strength instead of retard strength. That's really, that makes a lot of sense.
I like that one.
Tortilla Jackson, my man. Happy Cinco de Mayo to you, brother, with your tortilla. He says 1978 Steelers plus 2008 Steelers versus 1 gorilla.
Yeah, I think we got that one right there.
Real question is, can 100 gorillas beat John Jones?
Ooh.
John says 10 French Legionnaires. Caleb, number 78 on my list is Dale from across the street. Dude has plenty of Philly strength. John goes on to say 10 Derpies. 10 Derpies. I think
10 Derbies is in the group with the Philly strength.
Yeah. I seen him on the side of a milk carton. I don't know where he's at. Number 79, Caleb says on my list is train collector Dave. Dave moved all these model trains by himself. I could respect that. Number 80 on his list is his Jim Palmer poster. Of course, I thought it would be a lot higher. He's been hitting the gym the past week or so. John says Jack Lambert is on the yes, he's definitely on the list. Caleb says number 81 is my friend from middle school, Sheffy. Sheffy once drank 8 beers in the span of about 45 minutes.
Ouch.
Jacob Fatu.
Oh, he's a beast. I put Fatu against 1 gorilla. I want to watch that. Fatu's a nut.
Chris Boswell could fight the gorilla himself, Tortilla says. You know what? If I could have won, the thing was, Mike, I could have made the list better. But as I said, it's hard to come up with like the top 100 most intimidating men of all time.
Yeah.
I think I like I said, I think I did a good enough job. I covered from Genghis Khan to Superman. So I think we got pretty much a little bit of everybody in there. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say one very important person you left off was Chris Boitano. And if anyone remembers South Park Bigger, Longer, Uncut, if there's anyone who can do anything, it's Chris Boitano.
Wasn't it Brian Boitano?
Brian Boitano. Fuck. God damn it. Thank you for saving the joke.
Sean says Andre the Giant. Yes, Andre the Giant was number 2. He was the very top of the list. And then Tortilla Mike Tomlin could convince the gorilla to try out for linebacker. Also goes on to say Peyton Manning could just headbutt the gorilla for the win. None of the arguments which I have any arguments on. Guys, good morning. Welcome back to the show.
Oh.
And you know what? I was wrong. Like, this is episode 737. I don't even know what the hell I was thinking. It's 737, not 736. It's 737. It's Cinco de Mayo. Lots of good things going on today, guys. We got our 100 list knocked out of the 100 guys that could beat a gorilla. The LA Lakers are out of the playoffs in the first round yet again. And Mike, I have my new death poll pick as we head into this week, because we got to get death poll picks. I mean, if Derpy and Finch is in here, I don't know what to tell them. I mean, they could certainly get a hold of me. But Mike, right off the top, I'm taking my guy is Ozzy Osbourne. There's no way this guy could be alive much longer. I just absolutely refuse to believe, because 20 years ago when he started his reality show, I thought to myself he was close then.
Yeah,
Mike, Ozzy is my pick, and he's my guy through the rest of summer.
I'm taking going back to one we had before. I'm taking Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of like what's her face, Chuck Norris for me. It just seems like he's never gonna die.
I don't know. He's looking rough. I kind of would lean towards Dick Van Dyke, but because he's like almost 100, but he doesn't look a day over 85. So I'm going Clint Eastwood.
Dick Van Dyke's still alive?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think.
You're probably right. I don't know. I heard that name. I thought, geez, oh man. I was a kid and he was old. Like a little kid. Anyways, guys, let's get into it. We got lots of sports to talk about.
Yeah, he's still alive. 99 years old. December 13th, he will turn 100.
That's actually a really good pick. Why don't you take him? I'd say, listen, if I didn't think Ozzy was such a good pick, I would take Dick Van Dyke.
I'm taking Clint Eastwood.
All right, fair enough. Maybe later in the week, maybe the guys will take Dick Van Dyke. Caleb says, so I have Hispanic friends who hate Cinco de Mayo, so they celebrate the fall of the Alamo each March 6th with fried chicken and raccoon skin caps, shitty beer, and of course Pee Wee Herman's bike from the basement of the Alamo.
Dun, 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 dun.
You know what? I hate 4th of July. Say do what you want. It's my, you know, it's I never really got into the fireworks, Mike. I'm not I mean, for the first 5 years of my life, all right, but here I am, the ripe age of 29 years old. I've seen my share of fireworks over the years. I don't know.
I don't know. I like explosions in the sky.
It does nothing for me. But guys, let's get into it. Should we just you want to knock the garbage out first?
Yeah.
All right. Tortilla Jackson saying Ellen on the death poll, which you know what? I don't necessarily hate that. I'm gonna be honest. I don't hate Ellen on the death poll. But guys, before we get rolling, we do have to start with Pittsburgh Pirate Talk. And you know what that consists of, everybody. Until the team gets sold or improves, this will be on my head every single day for the rest of my life that the Pittsburgh Pirates play. I've come to terms with it, guys. The Pirates, they get swept yet again. Mike, this baseball team is now 9 games out of first place. Last place, they lost 4 in a row, 7 of their last 8. They've been shut out 7 times, which is most in the majors. They get swept over the weekend, Mike. Friday, they lose 9-4 to the Padres. Saturday, they lose 2-1 to the Padres. Sunday, they lose 4-0. They get shut out by the Padres. They're going back at it today. They travel to Missouri to take on the St. Louis Cardinals. The Cardinals are 16-19. The Pirates come in with a 12-23 record. This is game 1 of 3. Carmen Majinski comes in with a 1-3 record, a 6.58 ERA, and 22 strikeouts on the season. He'll be facing Miles McCollus, who's coming in with a 1-2, a 4.66 and 17 strikeouts on the season, Mike. I guess one of the highlights of the weekend, though, was at the game yesterday. The 2 rookies from Ohio State. They showed up at the game to support their home team, Will Howard and Jack Swayer. They were at the Pirate game to see them get shut out yesterday, Mike. And you know the thing about this Pirates team? Everything is only getting worse.
Yes.
Everything is only getting worse for this team. They're not winning. the PR garbage, everything that's going on with this team is getting worse, Mike, and that is why this bag stays on my head. Every day the Pirates play until 1, Bob Nutting sells the team. 2, things get better. Mike, I might as well just graft this thing to my head.
Yeah, you should just keep it there. It will be a permanent fixture for this team. Like I said on the show, and some people have been saying on Twitter for a while now, the season is over. It's over. It was over in April. There's nothing really good going on outside of like O'Neal Cruz is playing lights out baseball, and you got Paul Skeens. That's it. That's the list, boys. You wrap the season up.
It's unbelievable, Mike. And again, this isn't the worst team they've had recently. As a matter of fact, this is one of the better teams. Yet this is the worst performance. This team is now on pace, Mike, for about 55 wins on the season. It's unbelievable. So just like the Pirates, I'm gonna just throw this away because I'm sweating profusely under it. But Mike, that is where we are with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Yes, you know what? Tortilla they did. We will get into that real shortly, actually. But Mike, I do want to read the one good thing that's coming from the Pirates. One good thing. Mm-hmm. This is the letter talking about how the gentleman that fell last week at the game is doing. Apparently, he's doing better than expected. Here is a mark date on Caven Markwood, the fan who fell from the Clemente wall Wednesday evening. Caven is awake and continuing to work towards making his body stronger each day. At this time, he needs rest, peace, prayers, privacy, and all the positive thoughts and energy you can send him as he continues his journey. We're deeply grateful for the incredible support, care, and strength of the community standing with us. Your unwavering presence means more than words can express. So at least that's good. Good for this guy. You know, you didn't want to see anything really terrible happen to people, and it was an accident. So hopefully Caven continues to improve, gets better, and gets on with his life. We'd all like to see that for Caven. But that, Mike, is your Pirate scoop for the day.
There we go. And O'Neal Cruz is like just about like top 20, top 30 in just about every statistical category outside of like batting average, I think. His on base percentage isn't bad, his slugging percentage. So yeah, not bad.
He is having an unbelievable first month of the season. No two ways about it.
At the young age of 26, he's finally figured out baseball.
And you know what's funny that you said that, Mike, because we do have notes later to talk a little bit more about Show from that just got drafted, spending 7 years in college and only throwing for like 7,000 yards or something like this. Yeah. We will get into that, speaking of age, here just shortly, Mike. How he spent so much time in college and got so little yards is beyond me. But he's somebody else's problem, fortunately, not ours. Ellen DeGenerate for the Deadpool. I like that idea. That's Tortilla says this on the board. Having a dog and it being the 4th of July is rough. There's no two ways about that, man. Dogs hate, like myself, they just don't like the fireworks. Yinzer Joe, he's taken Dick Van Dyke, Mike, for the death poll.
Yeah, I saw that.
You missed out on Dick Van Dyke. You know what?
All right.
So I got Ozzy Osbourne for the death poll. You got Clint Eastwood, and Yinzer Joe got Dick Van Dyke. So we're set. You know what? He stole right from underneath Derby and Finch. So
hey, that's fair.
Tough
fair
on
is
them.
fair, man.
Caleb says, I can't believe Ryan brings out his prom outfit each time he talks about the That's right. That's right. And that's just the top, baby. Steelers, yes, they got the rookie numbers. We're going to go over that just here shortly. John, they are dragging Skeens down big time. I mean, this guy should be the biggest story in all of sports every day.
Yeah, and they're like, you watch his pitches, man. They're still effective, but they're not as they were last year. Like they have to be tinkering with him. We saw this with Garrett Cole. We saw this with who's that? Charlie Morton. Like they would want them to pitch a certain way, and then they suck here and they leave and go back to pitch how they should, and they're dominant.
Yeah, it's truly fascinating what's going on with that team, because here's the thing: every team has a good year every once in a while. Yeah, we don't, Mike, because again, 3 playoff years in 33 years. That's 1 in every 11 seasons by average.
Yeah,
that's got to be by far the worst in the league and probably in all major pro sports here in the United States, of course. Caleb says that story is cool and all, but Sid Bream was out at the plate.
Yes, he was. He was out. God dang it.
John smells a GoFundMe and Top Dog Law with that injured kid. I don't know, man. It was crazy. And again, I'm not going to comment. I feel bad, and I don't want to.
TopDogLaw.com.
I don't want to say anything. Whenever, you know what, as of like last week, whenever it was possible that he might die, you know, I kind of felt bad. But like now, it's like, I don't know. We can make fun. Screw it, right?
TopDogLaw.com. My favorite commercial.
Pittsburgh Riverhounds, they take a 2-0 loss to North Carolina over the weekend, Mike, but they are back at it on Wednesday as they face the New York City team. This is finally that game in the U.S. Cup Open that we've been waiting for them to play for about a month. That is this Wednesday at 7 o'clock p.m. The Pittsburgh Riverhounds back in the big U.S. Open Cup game tournament. Mike, also the UFL over the weekend, getting into some football. We'll give you the results of these, and then we're getting into some Steelers, getting into some NFL, everybody. So just give me like 20 more seconds. We'll be well on our way. The UFL Friday night, St. Louis, they beat Arlington 12-6. On Saturday, Houston beats Memphis 21-20. 2 games on Sunday. Michigan beats DC 38-14, and the late game Birmingham 26, San Antonio 3. That is week 6 for the UFL, Mike. This season's almost going to be coming to an end in just a few more weeks. You got the Gals. They're playing the Passion. They'll be back at it this Saturday, and that's going to take us right into summer, Mike, right around time to get ready to start for summer camp and get things going. So we do got a little bit of gridiron action going on. I do try to keep my eye on everything as far as UFL and all that, and it was good football, Mike. They're playing better football in the UFL. You'd like to see it, and again, you're always going to have that gap between the NFL and the UFL. But again, from what it was 2 years ago, and even what it was, think about when the XFL came out in 2000. Yeah. What a joke it was. So,
that was terrible then.
So for a sub league, it's certainly come a long way, and I do try to keep my eye on as much as possible. Mike, let me get to a couple of these, and we're going to get rolling, moving forward in the right direction. John says, one reason I moved to Vegas from Florida is the daily thunder and lightning storms made my dogs upset, and that in Vegas has the best weed. I thought, you know what, I thought about you the other day. I thought about John because John was saying you wanted to either move up this way or maybe even come up during the draft maybe next year. You might as well come up and visit because you have about 10 viewers already bunking at Mike's house. So
yeah,
what's one more?
Well, and I got the bar.
And he has the bar.
At the moment, it's BYOB, but we have a place to drink.
More surface area for people to sleep is the way I look at it.
Exactly.
When Ryan burps, my phone smells like coffee. Begs it. That's right. Guys, let's get into the NFL. Let's get into some Steelers here. Devin Bush back. He's in trouble. He gets arrested in Swickley over the weekend for harassment and simple assault. What is Devin Bush even doing in Pittsburgh? He's not from Pittsburgh. He went to college in Michigan. He went to Seattle. Now he's in Cleveland, but yet he finds a way to get arrested right here, right outside the city in Swickley, which is the last place you want to go and start trouble if you're looking for trouble. This is the richest people in the
right.
You know,
does he still like live in the area? Because you know how people are. They come to Pittsburgh as an athlete and they never leave. Even if they leave, they never leave. You know what I mean? So he's playing elsewhere, but it's like, fuck it, I'm staying in Pittsburgh.
Right.
You know, so it could be one of those athletes just chilling and hanging.
So Devin Bush, guys, arrested over the weekend. Harassment, simple assault in Swickley. Again, if I'm going to start any problems anywhere in the Pittsburgh region, the greater Pittsburgh area, it certainly wouldn't be Swickley. You come into town, they're already looking at you funny. They have a lot of money, a lot of rich people, a lot of athletes. And Devin Bush arrested. Good morning to Mark Malone. Good morning to Jen. Good morning to everybody on the board. Blah, blah, blah. John says, scratch and sniff. Oh, yeah, like my birds. That's right, baby. Mark, he says, hell mine, homies. Mark Malone's all ready to shuck and jive on this early Monday morning. Caleb says, I'm actually staying at Derpy's. Derpy's McDonald's. Mark Malone, now I'm going to go out on a limb and say, no, you're definitely invited. Yes.
We're, like I said in the call, we're cuddling.
Because, now that there's friction, you have to cuddle. That's the deal.
Come here.
Let's move on, Mike. I'm not going to talk at all about Aaron Rodgers today because we do have a lot of things to go on about. And yes, Aaron Rodgers is like the dad that leaves to go and get milk and cigarettes and never comes back and leaves us all here in Pittsburgh just waiting. You know what? But Mike, before I do move on, I do want to say that Mr. Kaboli did say this morning Aaron Rodgers will sign with Pittsburgh in the next 7 to 10 days. That is one of our media heads here in Pittsburgh who's been wrong. I mean, just in the past month in this whole Aaron Rodgers thing, I can remember at least 2 times off the top of my head, but he is saying, guys, that Aaron Rodgers will sign with the Steelers in the next 7 to 10 days. He's the only person saying it, but he does have inside sources. So do what you want with this. I don't think Aaron Rodgers will be a Steeler in the next 7 to 10 days, but we'll keep our eye on that, Mike. And that's all I have to say about Aaron Rodgers. Anything?
No, I saw the same thing, and I was like, well, we'll see. It'll probably be right before training camp, as my guess, if he signs.
Yeah. Right now, it just seems like an odd time for him to be signing out of nowhere like this, Mike. And again, a lot of camp, a lot of activity that they might want him to participate in, and I don't think that he's willing to do.
Yeah, or just let Mason and Will Howard have that time with the guys, and then Aaron coming in training camp, and that's the starter will get most of the reps in training camp anyway. Let him have the most reps in training camp. Let these guys get their reps in OTAs.
Also, Mike, do you guys want the top 10? Do you guys want the top 10 wide receiver duos?
Yes.
You want the top 10 wide receiver duos?
Yes.
What am I missing?
Fucking Caleb.
Oh, what do you say?
But have those sources been inside Kaboli? Hey, yo.
All right, so here's the top 10, Mike, wide receiver duos in the NFL this year. Number 1. Now let's go backwards. Number 10. London and Mooney from Atlanta. London and Mooney from Atlanta, Mike, who they're saying is the 10th best wide receiver duo in the NFL next year.
It's not a bad duo.
Number 9. McLaurin and Debo in Washington. Number 9.
But yeah, McLaren's doing all the heavy lifting in that duo.
Number 8, which I disagree with. I think that these two haven't been great at all once going to this team. Well enough because they're basically what they got. But number 8, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle.
Yeah.
Waddle's a name that disappeared off the face of the planet over the past 2 seasons, Mike.
Yeah, and Tyreek's he's more known for his off the field antics than what he's been producing on the field. They're further down on the list. If they're in the top 10, they're 10 to me.
Number 7, St. Brown and Jumo.
Ooh, yeah, up in Detroit. That's a nice duo right there.
Number 6 of the top 10 best wide receiver duos in the NFL this coming season, Mike. Number 6, George Pickens and DK Metcalf. George Pickens, DK Metcalf.
You know what? By the end of the year, they could be top. They can be top 3.
It depends. Some of these other teams got good quarterbacks.
I know.
Number 5, Evans and Godwin from Tampa Bay. Evans and Godwin, number 5.
Both coming back from injuries. I put them a little bit lower.
Number 4, Jefferson and Addison in Minnesota. Minnesota.
Number 4?
Well, there's more. I mean, you got to wait.
Ooh, wow.
Number 3, Brown and Smith in Philly. I mean, come on, these guys just won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Number 2, Nakua and Adams with the Rams. Nakua and Adams, Puka Nakua, and
Devontae.
And Mike, finally, number 1. No surprises.
No.
Number 1, the top duo of wide receivers in this upcoming season in the NFL is being said it is Chase and Higgins from Cincinnati.
I don't know. I would still put Jetta and Addison number 2.
Now let's see what
I know they don't have a quarterback. I know they don't have a quarterback. Yeah, I know that's. I'm just thinking like talent wise. I think those 2 should be higher. But yeah, so you roll in like quarterbacks, offensive schemes, and everything. Yeah, I get it. But man, where you see like a receiver ranking and Justin Jefferson is not either 1 or 2, you're like, damn, man, you gotta double take at that one. But the factors surrounding the team and everything that that makes a little bit more sense. So,
absolutely, Mike. It seems like people might be chomping at the bit to get these rookie numbers. I've seen on the board a couple times. Let's go through the rookie numbers as they were revealed about an hour ago for the Steelers. All the players that were drafted do have jersey numbers as we speak, guys. As of this morning, Will Howard will be number 18, taking over the old Mike Tomczak garb. Mike, number 18 for your number 3 or your number 3 quarterback.
Hey, you know what? I now like Will Howard even more because I liked Mike Tomczak as a backup quarterback. So I'm gonna love Will Howard.
And a Super Bowl winning backup quarterback with Chicago.
Yes. Yes.
The second guy, Mike, our number 2 pick, Johnson, he's gonna wear number 20. Number 20, taking the heirs from old Pee Wee, Eric Pegram.
Pegram, yep.
Well, Amos was what, 21? Famous Amos.
Yeah, I think he was.
Sawyer, Mike. Sawyer is going to wear number 33. Sawyer, number 33.
That's good. That's going to be weird seeing 33 rushing out
Absolutely
the edge.
Is.
Because that was what Merle Hodge's old number, correct?
And it was Merle Hodge.
Yeah.
Mike, the DB, Kent, is going to wear number 34. He was the last pick in the draft. Mark Bruner's son, he's going to wear number 44. Black is going to wear 78. Black and Yaya. Yeah. And finally, Mike, our number 1 overall pick, Harmony's going to wear number 99, which we knew.
Diesel.
So those are the new numbers for your drafted rookies for the Steelers guys. Howard 18, Johnson 20, Sawyer 33, Kent 34, Bruner 44, Black 78, and Harmon is going to be number 99.
I wish if 26 was available, that Caleb Johnson would have taken number 26 to wear, because he's getting a lot of comparisons to Le'Veon Bell with the running style. Would have been nice to see 26 back there.
Yeah, no,
it's just for me, 26 is a very, very appealing number for a cornerback and a running back.
And I'm going to be honest. I always think Rod Woodson, because even now when you started that story, my first thought was Rod Woodson. You said number 26, and then when you said Le'Veon, it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I think greatness because I think of Rod Woodson. That was my first 26 that I could remember.
Yep.
That's
my cornerback one right there, Rod Woodson, baby. He is
Jalen Samuels, former Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike is on his way to the Canadian Football League. You remember Jalen Samuels, of course.
Oh yeah, the running back.
He was our number 3 running back for quite a few seasons.
Yeah.
Mike, he's on his way to the CFL. The CFL.
Damn.
So if you like Canadian Football League,
yeah, don't take it lightly, because Chad Johnson, when he went up there, he came back and he's like, "Oh man, I went up there, I thought I dominated." He's like, "These cats can play."
Yeah.
So yeah, it's weird football, but they can play.
You know, between the arena and the Canadian and the UF, I mean, there's a lot of football leagues out there, and you never know if they're still going on or not.
Yeah,
like that arena football league. Sometimes it goes away, and then one year we had a team.
Yeah,
like come down and watch the Pittsburgh Power play, and I thought I didn't even realize
it's here, it's there, it's gone, it's back. Excuse me.
Caleb says, "Hey, it's 2025. Maybe someone wants some Kabuli booty."
Ugh.
John says he's tired of Rodgers and he isn't in the team. I see nothing but drama coming with him. And you know what? If what's going on doesn't just signify what the endless possibilities of having this guy on your team for you, and you still think having him is a great idea, you see what I'm saying? You just see so many problems, and there's no guarantee this guy's going to come here and be great at 42 years old. There's no guarantee. So people were just kind of banking on the past. Like, why don't they pick the Steelers this year to win a Super Bowl? Because they won 6 Super Bowls. That's the past. I'd like to see, again, we don't know Aaron Rodgers. 5 wins. 5 wins with the Jets. Yes, it was the Jets, but you know what? We're the Steelers. Are we much better right now?
Like you look at the numbers that he put up, they were good, but was that his last hurrah?
Right.
You know, and if it was, he should have just walked off in the sunset. Yeah, we didn't win a lot of games, but hey, I did, top 15, top 10 year number wise, and go off into the sunset. If he can bring that same level of production here, I'll take it. the drama not so much as a fan, but the drama for us to talk about Monday through Friday. Hell yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
man.
for sure, man. That's easy money for everyone to come on here and just bitch about this diva. But I'm interested to see if he has anything, because he did look like he got better as the year went on. And if he can have one more year, I'll take it. I'll take it. Let Howard develop. And if he sucks, we got Mason there. If Mason sucks, hey, what? We got Howard there. If Howard there sucks, guess what? We get a top 5 pick next year. Fuck yeah, baby. Sign me up.
Andrew Joe says, I heard Rogers had friends and family affected by the California fires, and he's trying to help. Well, you know what's I'm getting tired of all these excuses for him too. Nobody else has any problems, but they still have to show up for their job, right? Right? I mean, the regulars in California that lost everything, they don't have to. I mean, I'm just saying, come on, it's always something with Aaron Rodgers. That's my point. I think that you could always, and you kind of go back on that and see that it's always going to be something with him. But again, Mark Caboli does say he will be signed with the Steelers in the next 7 to 10 days, guys. So there you go. Hold your breath again for the BS ride. Caleb says, for the death pool, can I take Pope? Yeah, sure. You can take Pope Francis. By the time they bury him, you might we might have somebody dead by the time they actually bury that guy. John says the Steelers O-line and quarterback will determine how well DK and GP perform. Absolutely, man. It's a big if. So will the guys in the middle. Caleb says you all should get Aaron Rodgers jerseys if you got. No, I'm okay on that. You should all get Aaron Rodgers jerseys if he comes to Pittsburgh. Tortilla says, I think with how we sign free agents and drafted, it's almost certain Rodgers is coming. Just following what they do and they are acting like they already have their quarterback. That's what's confusing people.
Mason Rudolph.
Because they obviously don't have a solution. And everyone's looking at us like, what the hell are you doing? If, let's just say, Mason Rudolph could walk into a telephone booth and come out Superman, it was the only thing that's actually going to make sense.
Yeah.
Because there's like 31 other team fan bases that are looking at us like they literally done nothing to help themselves.
Well, the thing is, like I've said before in the show, people have somehow forgotten like the concept of a bridge quarterback. The guy to just be there until you find your next starting quarterback and build your team until you get there. That to me seems like what they're doing. They're comfortable with Mason Rudolph. They're comfortable with Aaron Rodgers here or not. And they're going to be like, hey, we're going to rely on our defense to win games, the offense to to just not F it up for us until we're going to keep doing that until we get our quarterback. And
it's
that's
just not working.
Yeah. But all these quarterbacks, like we tried Field for a little bit last year, weren't comfortable with it. They tried.
He was actually literally the only one that made sense because he was the only one that performed well enough that looks like he could be a starting quarterback out of all them guys, Mike, out of Russell, out of Mason, out of everybody. He was the one that showed the most as far as what a quarterback can do.
Yeah, and it from what I've read too at that time during free agency, they like, hey, this is what we're willing to pay you. Told him and his agent, you can take it. You can go see if you can make more money elsewhere, and if you can, go ahead. But this is what we're willing to spend for you because we want to get other things done. And you know what? He went out and made more money. So then it was like, well, they don't want Russ again. They weren't interested in paying Sam Darnold what he was going to make because they want to do other things on the roster. So, okay, guess what? We can get Mason Rudolph here to be a guy. We'll take a look at quarterbacks in the draft. Oh, Aaron Rodgers still kicking around. All right, let's reach out to him. And then the constant communication back and forth. So they have a plan. It may not be what everyone wants them to do. We're like, oh, you got to go. You got to go and get your rookie
I
quarterback.
think that nobody understands what they're doing. That's the thing. And nothing that they do really looks like it makes a lot of sense. And go ahead.
No, I was going to say, because for one time, like now the Steelers are actually kind of thinking long term. Let's not just go and rush in for a quarterback in round one, like we did with Kenny. Let's actually take our time, build out a team, flush out a roster, find some guys that can be a steward for a year. Worst case scenario, we have a losing season and we get a top 10 pick to where there's at least potentially right now 4 guys that can be. You take one, they're going to change the trajectory of your franchise in a positive direction. So they're thinking long term in their quarterback position. Short term, they're thinking, okay, we know what we can get. We were probably going to finish around 8-9 wins and be competitive. I could potentially sneak a 10th win in and make a playoffs and lose again like we have been. That's okay. Then the next year, okay, we got our rookie quarterback. We take a jump forward. He gets a year under his belt. Then 2 years down the line, boom, now we're back to where we should be because we have our pieces in place. We got our quarterback who's on our rookie contract. We can spend money elsewhere now.
Now, with that being said, Mike, the rankings according to the NFL.com, CBS Sports, and Fox, the Steelers fell at least 2 spots in each one of those polls since the draft. So as other teams are improving and adding players on, this is what the professionals believe that the Steelers are doing, Mike. They dropped to number 18th overall in the NFL.com poll. In CBS, they dropped to 19th overall. Mike, in Fox Sports, you're never going to believe this, 30th. They dropped to 30th overall in the Fox poll, Mike. The Pittsburgh Steelers, again, we could say what we need to say to make ourselves sleep better at night, but it seems like everybody outside of Pittsburgh can see through the smoke and see that, again, dropping down to 30 in any poll from given by anybody that knows anything about football, that's got to be somewhat concerning. Again, we'll say, well, that's obviously the outlier. These other guys are right around 18, 19, but still, Mike, after the draft, we're one of the only teams that dropped multiple spots since the draft.
Like, my question is, though, to the people who did this poll, like, if the Steelers would have taken, say, Shedeur Sanders in the first round, would you have put them
No, because
higher?
Cleveland dropped as well.
Yeah. Like, if they would have taken, like, Jackson Dart, would they have shot up the boards there?
Giants, I don't think did that well either.
Yeah, so that's like,
but
like, I get what you're saying. It's like, okay, these, the supposed experts are saying this, but at the same time, I think last year in our evaluations of the team,
they are kind of, they do know their stuff.
They know our stuff. I'm going to tell you what, though, Ryan. Like, last year, you and I, we went through all this stuff with, like, comparing where we think teams would finish against experts. We did really well. Let's not sell short here. But I get it though. But
there's still a lot of questions to be answered.
Yeah, people want to see the big flashy moves at the quarterback position, and like there was no one out there. Sam Darnold went and got his money from Seattle, and like now that all that was left was just like a bunch of older dudes and Justin Fields. That was the free agent market in the quarterback draft. We saw there was only 2 quarterbacks worthy of a first round pick, and then after that was just a bunch of guys.
We also got to remember too, Mike. I can't say this enough. That Justin Fields, maybe give him a few extra dollars and let him be your starting quarterback for a year or two, because again, the guy went 4-2.
Yeah,
the guy went 4-2. He had like one turnover in the 6 games. He was our best option looking back in hindsight. Now looking around and seeing what's going on, I think that Justin Fields could have very well, but Mike, again, maybe they are trying to get the better pick next year, because again, nothing around the league. I mean, people in Pittsburgh seem to understand this for whatever reason, but everybody else sees kind of a chaotic situation going on in the Steelers organization.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe it's just now the time, like, the stable franchise. Now it's like, they don't know what they're doing, and they know. You talk about Pittsburgh, Steeler fans are going to react. Steeler fans are going to click. They're going to read your articles. They're going to engage with you back and forth. So you be a little shitty towards them. Be a little harsher in your evaluations of them, because you're going to get a reaction out of them.
Tortilla Jackson says, I think with how we signed and drafted most, okay, I think we got that one. National media always underestimates us. Yeah, no 2 ways about that. We know that from the 70s. Kaboli is the media at Tortilla Jackson.
Kaboli.
Yeah, he's
definitely like the
sleeping media. Have you seen that?
Oh, that was the best. Then he was on the radios trying to, like, I'm looking down at my phone. I'm making sure I'm in the angle and not in the way. Like, dude, man, you're big as me. You're going to be in the way.
Mark Maloney, I mean, he does hit it right on the head. If we would have lost one more game, that's 500. I mean, we're that close to not being a good team, guys. Keep that in mind as we just barely float above water. John says currently the Steelers have a 2.4 chance to win the Super Bowl. Watch how the Little Vegas changed the odds after Rodgers signing. Rodgers signing will make it 2.6% chance. Yeah. So again, I mean, what is it that we want to entertain? That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah.
I don't see any of these guys winning a Super Bowl, and I don't see any one of the guys that we had the chance to bring in winning a Super Bowl this year. I think he did have 200 yards a couple times, but again,
once or twice.
But again, think of Ben's earlier years when he wasn't throwing yet. He was safe enough. We were winning games. He was being safe, and again, almost a Kenny Pickett style, guys. We were winning football games, but not by his numbers. So again, it's just, what do we want to entertain while we wait till we get our franchise guy? Do we want to entertain the idea of Aaron Rodgers coming here with all of his bags? Do we want to entertain this? Do we want to entertain it? Do we want to pay this guy more than he's worth? Because I don't know of anybody that expects this team to win in February this year. But that's part of the mystery that we're left with, Mike.
Yeah, do we want to tank? Does the the players don't want to tank, coaches don't want to tank, owners don't want to tank, fans don't want to tank, but tanking does help, to lose, and then you get those better picks. But, again, though, we're going to have 4 extra draft picks, an extra 3, 4, 5, and 6. We can trade up. Oh, no, we might have to give up a first-round pick in 2027. If you can get your guy, you go ahead and do that because you're thinking that next year's pick's going to be in the very low 20s, or if you're lucky, the very last pick in the draft. So you mortgage a little bit of the future to go out and get your guy. Just play the season out. You never know what can happen. Mason Rudolph can flip a switch and turn out to be a latter day. What's his name? Oh my God. For the dude who won Geno Smith, a latter day Geno Smith,
about Mike.
Or he can be a complete, or he can completely fall on his ass. We find out what Will Howard's had
that,
and then we can.
Everyone is very optimistic about Mason.
But you never
Rudolph.
know. It's the other side of the coin.
It could be the very, very opposite. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm willing to find out.
That's what it comes down to. What are you willing to entertain? What are you willing to put up with through this season?
Yeah,
I'll put money on it right now. On this day, I'll make a bet that this team is not going to win a Super Bowl. I promise you.
Oh no.
So it comes down to what are you okay with accepting?
Real quick, I was going to say, would an acceptable season? Obviously, an acceptable season is a Super Bowl, a playoff win. Would losing to get a top 10 pick, would that be acceptable?
No, not as a season it wouldn't, but ultimately in the big plan it's not a bad idea.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think that anybody would love having a terrible season. Here on the board, let's see, I had a Mrs. Fields cookie, and it tasted better than a 200 yards Fields game. That was by Caleb. Caleb said this. Mark Malone, we're winning 12 with Mason, Caleb, Johnson, DK, Fried, with Fry Daddy, etc. I hope you're right, but
who's Fry Daddy? Oh, Fryermuth. Look, I had to speak it to get it.
Tortilla, we can always trade up. No reason to tank when we can still trade up to get the guy you like. And you know what, guys? We have mad picks. We have a 1, we have a 2, we have 2 third rounds, 2 fourth rounds, 2 fifth rounds, 2 sixth rounds, and a 7th round pick. So we are in prime position to make some moves next year when the draft does come. So let's maybe we'll be able to use that to our advantage. Don't sleep on Rodgers to DK on quick slants. Tortilla also saying this. Mark, you're going to be very surprised how much better this offense is without Fields and Wilson. John, people putting their money where their mouth is beats out the media buzz to keep folks engaged for cash.
Hell yeah, it does.
We'll be picking towards the very end of the draft, or the end of next year's draft. Mark says this, and then Caleb says Tomlin will win a Super Bowl. Of Skyline Chili Dorn Bengals fan day in 3 years. That sounds about right to me. Guys, let's do a move on. Mike, we have some big stories in Pittsburgh this weekend about some of our players. One of them, by multiple sources, Sports Illustrated and such, George Pickens, Steelers could be nearing end. I thought this was over, Mike. However, let me see this. He's not. Things are not going. Has not been going well behind the scenes. Believes Pickens' time is limited, which is another source that's not from Sports Illustrated. So 3 different sources, Mike, just in the last day. Did something happen that I don't know about?
Because I don't know.
These weren't there on Friday.
No, because during the draft, who was it? Fowler was tweeted out saying things are going. He wants to stay in Pittsburgh. He likes. He likes the team. He likes the organization. He wants to be a Steeler going forward, do the things he needs to do to be a Steeler. And then over the weekend, it's coming out that, like you said, these reports. Then I saw Gary Dulac tweet out saying, don't be surprised if he's traded by November.
This is what I'm saying. Where did this come from?
Just all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there's been no peeps, no nothing. George hasn't said anything. Steelers haven't said anything. He hasn't, done anything other than he took the
That's the
Steelers
one thing
off
that
his Instagram,
one
but
thing that scares
he
me,
does it
Mike.
every year.
Well, yeah, he took the Steel. I mean, that's
A year
something.
he
It's
took his
something
cap.
though. It's something you got to keep.
It is.
You have to keep.
It's that time of the year, though.
You got to keep it in the mind.
Yeah.
But this one here, Mike, Sports Illustrated GP. This was in the past 24 hours. Steelers could be nearing end again. Where would this come from? Just through the weekend. And again, this other source right here, I'm not going to mention their name. It says he has not gone well behind the scenes. Believes Pickett's time is limited. So, I mean, we could be, the shucking and the jiving, for lack of a better term, Mike, could be what we're being told. But you know what? In the locker room, behind closed doors, we don't know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. And, the Steelers do keep their behind the scene stuff under lock and key. Because remember, George, second year, he was fined over $100,000 for his antics. People are like, why aren't anyone doing anything? Like, you've come out at the end of the year, they took a shit ton of money from him. So they're really good at keeping stuff behind closed doors. But my God, just out of nowhere. And, there was, the trade talks during the draft, but it really wasn't going anywhere. Dallas reached out. Omar Khan reached out to some teams too, but they figured out, what, we there's no good trade options there, so what, we'll keep them. And then all of a sudden, now all the dirty laundry's coming out, and like I said, Steelers keep this stuff under lock and key. So who's now leaking this stuff?
You're right.
And why would the Steelers leak it to tank someone's trade value? It doesn't make sense. Is this his agent now leaking stuff to sources to, weasel his guy out of Pittsburgh? It's weird.
You're right. Something's something we're missing, because again, Friday there was no issues with George Pickens in Pittsburgh that I know
all
of.
A sudden, now all of a sudden, they're
time is limited, and come on.
And like you see him out, he's working. He's out there working with the route god every day, running routes, working on trying to refine that. You never hear him like missing practice, faking injuries or anything. So it's weird what's going on. It's a weird situation with GP.
Mark Malone, remember the grilling and chilling with Gentry?
Yep. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Friday. Let's see. John says Mahomes was number 10. If they don't have to tank, they do need to change their philosophy and approach to the game, hire an innovative coaching staff, and let that, people are saying that, and we haven't seen that happen yet. So maybe this could be part of the answer. But again, a lot of people that are depending on this defense that's let us down, that managed 500 games. Of course, people are going to say, well, the offense, but that's the point I'm getting to. The defense is going to be able to continue to carry the offense on their back the way they've done for years now. And by the time you get in the playoffs, that defense is they're beat. They don't give up less than 40 points in a game. So by thinking that adding a nose tackle or a tackle in the first round is going to totally change the way that this defense is, I think is insane, guys. There's certainly steps that need to be taken, and I think they are taking those steps to make this team better. But we're not there. We're kind of still a ways off, in my opinion. Yinzer Joe says, I feel like losing E-Rob in the middle hurts. I liked him. I liked him a lot when they're stopping the run, but when he was on the field, the offense started passing. Same when Wilson was on, they ran in over him. Did opponents figure it out? And probably. I mean, he's not exactly young either. You got to think, Landon Roberts spent a lot of his career in New England before he even moved anywhere. Tortilla says, I'm convicted. The Steelers thought their main problem on offense last year was the MLB's why we got a new head coach, or why we got a new coach and let Rob walk, signed Harrison. Yinzer, I kind of wish we had a defense to go back to the 4-3, run stopping and pressure the quarterback defense, not offense. Tortilla says. John says, Mike, the lock and key behind closed door stuff will be over with once Rodgers signs. That's true.
It'll be on Pat McAfee
It'll be the most transparent locker room in the country, believe me.
Exactly. Yeah, and to what Tortilla was saying, like, and you guys are saying E-Rob was getting older. They bring in Malik Harrison in. They're hoping, he can be that run stuffer. He showed some potential last year with Baltimore, being a guy that's not afraid to stick his nose in there. It sucks to lose Roberts. I loved him. I thought he was a great run stuffer. But, if you might lose a little run stuffing with Malik Harrison, but maybe gain a little that he can do more if he's out there and there's pass plays and he has to get in coverage better. But I hated seeing E-Rob go. He was a leader on that defense. He was the glue when all those middle linebackers went down 2 years ago, and he stepped up big time. That's going to be a big loss there.
Mark Malone, we're going to score this year. I can feel it. I hope you're right. Hopefully the addition of one guy could make that much of a difference. But you know what? Again, there's still a lot to be desired. It's hard to say. I hope you're right. Believe me. I hope we're celebrating this fall a lot. Tortilla says it's Pickens' contract year. It's probably his agent starting some rumors for. I mean, it could be a number of things. It really can, because again, there was no news 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Now news like it's the worst situation ever.
Yeah, dude, it could be even reporters too. You know how fickle sports reporters are. If they don't like you, they will never say a nice word about you. Too. It could be little personal vendettas as well.
This one here makes a great point. I think John makes a great point. People keep throwing potential college quarterbacks who should be, signed by the Steelers. I'm not sure they can develop a rookie quarterback with the current staff. And you know what? I don't know if I disagree. I don't know if there's anything that showed me that it could be different. I mean, when was the last time things looked actually positive on this franchise for the quarterback position? I don't know if, he didn't do great we didn't do great with Kenny. He didn't do great. I'm just saying.
But that was under what Mike Sullivan was the quarterback coach, and now we have Tom Arth now. He's the quarterback's coach. So hopefully we'll see. We'll see with him.
Yeah, top pick up there with the promotion of Tom Arth. Let's see what else, Mike. The retirement of Greg Popovich from the San Antonio Spurs leaves Mike Tomlin atop the 4 major North American sports as far as longest tenured head coaches. Mike Tomlin sitting there with 18, going on his 19th season under his belt. Mike, now that Pop is gone, there's nobody ahead of Mike Tomlin's his tenure, at least, for one team right now, currently.
Mm-hmm. And close on his heels is what, Harbaugh, I believe.
Mike, 29 years Popovich was coach for the Spurs. 29.
That's insane.
Oh, hey, just real quick, Mike, a quick announcement just came up. The Cleveland Browns have been eliminated from playoff contention. That's right.
Just write that down. Write that down, boys.
The Browns are eliminated and have been eliminated from
the Cleveland Browns are now on the clock. I think it's going to. I would laugh my ass off. They get the first overall pick in Pittsburgh and they just totally blunder it.
Mark says Caleb Johnson, DK, Fatanu, 3 big ads. I mean, wasn't Fatanu supposed to be a big ad last year? Let's see, maybe which rookie, Mike, are we going to lose all season?
I know it was Calvin Austin, then Roman Wilson and Fatanu last year. So it's a trend. It's a trend. Can we break the trend this year?
I'd like to see Roman Wilson have a good season. Just because there's obviously a lot of doubt because of he gets drafted and he's out all season. I mean, come on.
Yeah, Roman Wilson went from being a guy like, oh man, this cat could come in and play the slot right away to can this cat even make the team? So we'll see. We'll see. I hope he can rebound from a injury plagued rookie season.
Joe, do NFL sports agents make a percentage of what the current player gets in a contract? Oh, absolutely. Or extensions. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mark Malone losing Fields and Wilson was addition by subtraction. Caleb, what about Pat Riley in the Heat? No, it's longer because it's current for one. And when Popovich took his 29-year current streak, then the next one became Tomlin with his 18 years. So I think Pat Riley is longer, but it's not current. And when Pop is done coaching, he'll be moving to Joe. That would be that would mean any time, even if a player is currently happy, a player's agent can make things difficult. Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of things that we don't know. You know what I mean? Who knows what goes on behind closed doors? Obviously, as we said earlier. But yes, absolutely, Joe. That's certainly possible. A little bit about Mike. Everyone made this big deal about Shedeur Sanders getting the prank call. This poor guy. This Chase Lunt.
Oh, okay.
Mike, he got 5 prank calls during the draft. 5 prank calls Chase Lunt received before being drafted by Buffalo in the 6th round. This is definitely a problem. As we said last week, they have to. And again, it's freakish. You don't see this every year, and it's not a big problem. But they might want to nip this in the bud and say, you know what? And I think they did by again going after this coach and going after the Falcons and going after. You know what I'm saying?
You got to set an example.
You have to set an example. Yeah. Like 5, poor kid.
Yeah, he had 5. Shador had his. Tyler Warren had one. Cooper DeJean last year. It's I think there's the one guy Isaiah Bond, who had like the off the field allegations against him, potential top 1 to 3 round pick, one undrafted. He got prank calls too, thinking, oh, okay, I'm getting drafted here at least in the 7th round. It's a major issue that they got to figure out a better way of doing this.
And again, you know what? It's not something that carries over from year to year, but again, you want to nip it in the bud right now. If it's a problem this year, you don't. Again, 5 call. I mean, that's just mean. Come on, guys.
Yeah, you got to. They have to change their system. Someone said, "Hey, why don't you just make the pick, let them see them be announced on ESPN or the NFL Network. Then you call the agent and go, hey, give me a number. Yeah. Give me a good contact number. Let them know, hey, you're going to get a phone call from this number. Only answer this number, then you call it. And so shit like that doesn't happen. It sucks that they would have to go through that many hoops now, but fucking with these kids like that ain't cool.
Not a little bit more than halfway, guys, but I do want to say that they are planning on announcing that the 27 draft is going to be held in Washington, D.C. I see that is going to be announced, guys. The 2027 draft, which is after ours, they're saying it's going to be announced. The D.C., which has even crazier of a
I can go to that one.
No.
And I think if I read it correctly, it's going to be by the Washington Monument.
Okay. Which is right, very. I mean, come on, that's very close to the White House, and I mean,
you can see one of all these liquored up fans just running around, jumping over the fence to the White House, hanging out, taking selfies.
Hey, maybe everybody
their team doesn't draft the guy they want. They go rampaging at the White House. It's your fault. Running up to the Capitol building. No, it's your fault.
Or maybe so many people be disenfranchised by our politics, they just won't go. Maybe it's
going to be great.
Could help.
It's going to be great.
Let's see. Him and Jimmy butted heads. Jimmy got traded, of course. Talking about the Heat here. Tortilla says that's a huge problem in all sports. The agents will stir the pot to get a check. Yeah, it's probably with every single occupation in the world. You know what I mean? There's the things we know, and then the things that make it go around, that stuff that we don't know, and it's really hard to tell. Tortilla, that's what I believe happened with Le'Veon. Joe says that's a shame. I really wanted Bell to stay, and you know what? That we really missed out on an opportunity with that team that we had. Again, a Hall of Fame quarterback, arguably the best running back, and arguably the best receiver, all in the same offense. I say we dropped the ball on that one. His agent Vaughn says perfect. Yeah, John says they will use NFL switchboard and screen the calls from now on, which is they should have been doing it. They do it for local radio. How they're not screening calls for the NFL draft is beyond me. I mean, it's only a multi-billion-dollar business, but hey, draft players on Zoom. Tortilla's saying, and then Yinzer Joe says agents are supposed to work for the player, not the other way around. Now the government's supposed to work for us. Fuckers. But like, let me jump into something that people have been talking about, and we kind of, I stayed away from this. Let me talk a little bit more about Mr. Sanders in Washington, and let me tell you, in Cleveland. Let me tell you what Mr. Ryan Clark, RG3, what RG3 said about the Shedeur Sanders draft situation. RG3 says multiple NFL coaches say they did not draft Shedeur in the first round out of fear it not working out and being replaced by Dion. RG3 says this, says that multiple NFL teams did not draft Shedeur Sanders in the first round out of fear of it not working and being replaced by Dion. Mike, this is what we said.
Yeah.
This is come on. I mean, it's true. This is what's going to happen. This is what Dion Sanders is going to be coaching Cleveland Browns in 3 years. Watch. In 3 years' time, he will be there. He's not stopping at Colorado. His kids are in the NFL. He's obviously doing things with his kids, for his kids. He's going to be in the NFL again before you know. There's no way he stays at Colorado with Shiloh in Florida, with Shedeur in Ohio, Mike, give it 3 seasons. Deion Sanders is the head coach of the Cleveland Browns after they're terrible enough to fire Kevin Stefanski, which shouldn't take long. Mike, that's my prediction. I say Deion will be the head coach of Cleveland within 3 seasons.
Wouldn't surprise me if Shador's still there and becomes the quarterback. Yeah, I can see that happening. How long can Stefanski keep, going off that what coach of the year award up in Cleveland? I mean, the year well, that was what he won 2 of them, or at least one the year that Tomlin dragged the Steelers to a 500 record with Duck
Mike, that
Hodges
is
and
the
Mason Rudolph.
only time since 1989 that team finished better than our team.
Yeah,
the only year the Cleveland Browns since 1989 that the Browns finished ahead of us. They had. I mean, come on, you have to give it to Stefanski in that situation, don't you?
No, it's the Browns. You have that many first top 10 picks on your team. No, that's a given at that point.
This also said about Sanders. Sanders was provided an install package to study prior to the meeting. He did not prepare for the meeting at all. Brian Daboll called him out. This is from the New York Giants organization, titled, according to Todd Mache, Shador Sanders had a very poor visit with the Giants. Daboll goes on, called him out, and apparently Sanders didn't take too kindly of that. Daboll was not a fan of Sanders after that. So there you go. I mean, it's nothing that people didn't know.
Yeah,
it's all what we expected. It's par for the course.
Yeah, and oh god, of course. Then Brian Debo, whatever his name is,
So
just watching him last year on Hard Knocks when he totally missed the evaluation of Jaden Daniels.
But maybe he was the only one that was wrong, and everyone else thought that Shador did great meeting.
Oh no. But I'm just saying, it's funny. We're all pointing to Dabo for this.
In this particular case, yes. I mean,
this one, right? The other one, he totally messed it up with Jaden Daniels.
The only one that I know about Daniels, I don't know anything about that one, but I'll take your word.
But Steeler freaks say, Shador is not talented enough to be pulling the stuff that he was. Him and his dad thought they were a 4-year starter of impeccable, guaranteed number 1 pick, to where you can pull a John Elway, pull an Eli Manning, and say, no, I'm not going
He
there.
Wasn't even Johnny Manziel. Manziel won 5 out of 6 games against top 25 teams at his time.
And had a Heisman and
a Heisman. Shador went 12-13 in his time at Colorado. Yeah. So they're not even in the same ballpark, which is crazy again, because I suspected Deion's son. Listen, I just don't think he's playing it right.
Yeah,
he's trying to create the quarterback. Let him do what he's really. I'm sure he's probably really fast. If you're Deion Sanders,
no, he's not
fast.
No,
he's an average. He has his mum speed. What is this?
Yeah. He's for a quarterback, he probably put him in a Joe Burrow type running. So not great, but not bad.
Burrow runs like an old white guy.
Yeah,
Sanders runs like an old white guy.
Yeah.
Deion should have just killed him at birth. I mean, come on, you're Deion Sanders and you have a slow...
what they were doing in college, hyping up Shador. That okay, I can understand it because you're creating an atmosphere at college. You wouldn't bring in young kids. Ryan's going like this is Sparta. You're either an athlete or we're throwing you out into the wolves to die.
Hey, I came up with a 100-person roster to beat that damn gorilla. So I'm feeling it today, man. I am feeling it.
See, I only need 50 normal people. We'll kill that gorilla.
What's that?
I only need 50 normal guys. We'll kill that gorilla.
Oh, no way. Hey, did you see the way that gorilla is destroying people?
Yeah, in that AI one. But in real life,
no, it's not going to happen in real life. So let's just say the AI.
Oh, the AI one, yeah.
But I mean, come on. You have to have the best of the best against that gorilla.
Yeah, that gorilla was on something else, man. It was like a baby King Kong.
Also, Mike, about Deion, something that's interesting as well is this is the first draft since 1990 where a team selected 2 consecutive quarterbacks in the draft.
Yeah.
One team, the Browns, with, of course, their 2 draft picks this year, Mike, which is a very peculiar thing. But you know what? It's not that peculiar because we considered doing it as well. We was going to pick multiple quarterbacks. I don't know if they're going to be back-to-back.
Yeah.
But it hasn't been done since 1990 what the Browns just did.
Well, wait. Was it RG3 and Cousins were done in the same draft? Were
they back-to-back consecutive picks?
Oh, consecutive picks. My bad. Yeah. No, they were not. One was a first, one was a fourth. Yeah, you're right. My bad.
Let's catch up on the board. Cowboys did interview Dion. Give it time. Just give it time. You could see it unfolding. I guess the whole family batted job interviews. John says Sanders isn't talented enough, has an attitude, and the media will drum up drama about him and his father constantly. Who would want that? John also says, look at how much juice the media has squeezed out of the Sanders situation just in the past month. It is filling a void for cash right now. Sanders goes, or I'm sorry, Yinzer Joe says Sanders draft room should have said entitled instead of legacy. That's what people were saying, man. I mean, legendary.
Like, I'm all for parents hyping up their kid, but
absolutely,
you don't want to.
I think you have to if you're,
but you don't want to take it that far. You don't want to make them delusional. You don't want to make them delusional.
Sanders' mom was stuck pushing a 3-day-old finger food at his draft party.
Right? She got been pissed, man. That catering bill got to be off the chains.
And there was other guy, like I said, that Chase London. I think it happened to a few other guys too. So hopefully they get that fixed, Mike. I can't imagine this is something they'll continue. And as you said, why not go through an NFL board and let them handle all the calls? And that just seems like it would make sense.
Like Tortilla said, draft them on Zoom.
Yeah.
or the NFL can just give us a direct line to all the players, and we will let each and every one know.
That's right.
Listen here, you dumb fuck. You're goaded. The Browns. Your career's over.
What, you're slower than your dad? Your mom should have killed you at birth.
Oh, Christ, my favorite team, the Steelers, picked this asshole? Oh, hey, guy, you're on the Steelers now. Fuck you. Welcome to the team.
Mike, Tyler Shuck. How do we decide that it was said?
Suck.
Tyler Suck.
That's what I'm going with.
Mike, 7 years, 7,820 yards in college. Of course, the downtime certainly plays into that.
Yeah.
But Mike, that's a little over 1,000 yards a season, and
yeah,
over 7 years, you should be producing better than who. Where did he go?
Okay, he started off in Oregon, was hurt, went to Texas Tech, was there for 3 years, was hurt, and then finally went to Louisville, and that's when he had his breakout year.
See, I thought they had another guy, didn't they have a guy that was kind of like Lamar?
He wanted, I think he came in to replace him.
Because boy, maybe that's what it was.
He came in. Yeah, he transferred from Texas Tech. This cat had 3 senior years.
That's what I'm saying. College football is becoming really stupid anymore.
I understand. You're hurt. Blah blah blah. You get the medical stuff, but come on now.
They're that seems like they said let's fix the league and fix this college playoffs, but let's make everything else bad.
Yeah.
Let's make it so guys are never on the team for more than 1 year in a row. And I mean, there's a lot of things that are being talked about, but adding to the playoffs, I like that, Mike. So
yeah, that's just there's 7 years in college. This like the dude in Animal House.
John says video call. See their, I mean, that's probably what it's going to come to. Obviously, with technology, I'm sure a lot of things are going to be along those paths. Give the players walkie-talkies, Tortilla says. Yinzer Joe, I'm sorry. I guess all these new rookies feel some sort of entitlement. There are some trying to get retired numbers from former NFL players, and some that get their college numbers retired now for no reason. Yeah, it's an argument, man. No two ways. Caleb, COVID, though, allowed for students to get the extra year. Absolutely.
Yeah,
when a college student goes to school for 4 years, generally to play football, and you end up going 7, I don't want to blame that on COVID. That's as long as our losing streak in the playoffs. I mean, something's got to give at some point.
Yeah.
Something is not right if that seems to be the issue. John says old school and use smoke signals with blanket. I think technically they last students that could be a grade student until like 2028 or 2029. Grad student. Okay, I see what you're saying. So I don't know. Just watch it. I mean, you just have to watch the results. Is it going to continue to popularize college football, or are people going to lose interest? And, obviously at the end of the day, it's a business and we will keep an eye on those kind of things. It's hard to tell, Mike. A lot of things are happening and changes are happening in college football that I think could ultimately affect the sport long term. But, no matter what my opinion is, we're just going to have to watch it play out. And again, I think it's not a good thing having players on a college team for 1 year, then to another team, then to another team. That's not a team. That's a bunch of guys getting together and giving it a shot. A team is a bunch of guys that work together. They have a goal. They accomplished a goal. This just is not. It's not that is what I'm saying. But,
something has to be done to figure it out, or just make it a true minor league system.
Right.
Like we're affiliated with the university, but we're here for football and football only. It's to figure something out.
Yeah.
But the way that they recruit these kids, they tell them, oh yeah, we'll give you this money, you can start for us, blah blah blah. And then they get there like, all right, now you got to earn your spot. Like, wait a second, you just told me in my living room.
You said I could be entitled. What
you said? I'm coming in and I'm gonna be
at work
worst
for it.
number 2. Now you're telling me I'm number 5.
I just retired my number from this school. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Goofy. It's goofy. Caleb said he had a stroke from that last message of his. Yeah. We all did, brother. It's all good, my man.
You should see the shit I type and have to erase. It's bad.
Mike, they're just trying to hit the portal and get that. That's the thing. I mean, it's a human nature.
Mm-hmm.
People want, they want more for themselves, and that's not a bad thing. But at some point, again, all the things that we've seen that we say, oh, geez, I mean, greed really effed that up. Oh, greed really effs this up. Oh, greed, and it's no different in sports. And again, you just have to wait and see if the popularity of the sport goes down, or people like their team having one guy for 1 year and another guy the next year and another guy the next year and another guy the next year. It's going to be harder for people who've been in the sports longer to get used to. The younger generations, they'll do it because they see changes and new stuff all the time. But, maybe they don't care. Maybe they're like the older demographic is dying off. Who cares? Let's just go with what we think is cool and give these kids money and go from there.
Yeah, I would be content if I was like a third string, 4th string wide receiver running back. You're going to pay me $100,000 a year NIL money. I will just sit there and grind at that university, walk out of there with a couple $100K in my bank account.
See, and that's the problem.
I'd be I'd be staying at the university, going to my classes, working, practicing, but I'm you're paying me $100K a year. I'll stay there.
I would never go to the pros. Why go to the pros and risk your health?
Yeah.
Go to college where they're not as big and strong. Mm-hmm. Make your $100 million, whatever. I mean, guys are just going to be retiring after college. That is why I think it's a problem. It's just it's not. It's going to make a lot of changes eventually.
Yeah. I think it's going to cause people to stay in the college longer. You're going to see a lot of 24-year-olds coming out instead of a lot of like 21, 22-year-olds coming out into the draft.
I just think that every college student should get paid for everything. Then, if you're going to school to be a doctor, you should be getting paid for training to be a doctor. I mean, these people are training to be professional football players, and they're getting paid very, very handsomely.
Is that college student in the medical department helping to bring in hundreds of millions of dollars a year?
Possibly. I don't know. Mike, it just depends.
Then if they are, they have an argument.
Mike, what if the guy that's, as you said, the 4th-string receiver who isn't playing, that's getting 100,000, he's helping pull in that money? He's not. He's not.
If someone's willing to pay him that money, take it.
Again, because it's becoming what the system is becoming. He is not responsible for bringing in $110,000. That 1 4th, 5th string receiver.
But if a sponsor is willing to give him that kind of money, you take it.
And doctors and everybody alike, Mike, of course.
Things are like they're allowed to have jobs throughout the year and stuff, and they're allowed to have people give them money.
Athletes have jobs. Most athletes have jobs. Matter of fact, Kurt Warner
times of the year
and Scottie Pippen, 2 of the greatest.
Yeah,
they were grocery store baggers. So I mean, it's not abnormal for an athlete to have a job. You know what I mean?
No, it's not. But like
but you see what I'm saying? The younger generation, they don't want that. They just want, give me my money to play football.
You want me to come play football for it? I'm going to play football. You better pay me for it. Right. I have no problem with that.
So again, you will see how this affects the game eventually, but it won't matter because the younger people will accept it because it's the new change. We will be the ones that notice. Nonetheless, guys, let's hop back on the board. John says. Let's go right here. Tortilla treating college football like the restaurant industry. John says Arch getting paid now and not getting much college snaps makes me think he isn't coming out next year. Very good point. Caleb, did you all the news of NCAA affiliated sports books to help combat student athlete game fixing? Mike, read this to me. I it's giving me a stroke again.
There's sports books to where you can, like, for college gambling, specifically just for that. Now that is insane.
To see if they're going to stay.
No, for like to gamble on the games and stuff. Apparently, I'm looking into it.
What do you mean, like the kids could gamble?
No.
So you couldn't gamble on sports before, is what you're saying? Explain to me, please.
I don't know. I'm trying to interpret what he said. I'm trying to look it up. Just going based by it's like NCAA affiliated sports books, like the college, like the NCAA themselves. What it sounds like is they're having their own little sports book. Like you have to gamble. Like if you want to gamble on the NCAA, you can come through right here. I don't know if it is for the athletes themselves or not. I don't know. That's weird.
Well, if you enjoy, listen, if you ever enjoyed college football, it's changing. So you might not like what you're seeing. That's the only point that I'm making. The changes are being made, certainly benefit the younger kids, obviously. So we'll see how it plays out, guys. Also, Jen says helicopter parents. John, I have some thoughts about, or I'm sorry, Caleb, I have some thoughts about this. Jen goes on to say healthcare is so expensive, so doctors could bring in major. Absolutely, absolutely, they can. Again, it comes down to sponsors with colleges, and a lot of people that give their money to colleges for doctors and scientists to do what they do. So I do believe they should be being paid handsomely as well. Caleb, I think we're about to enter a new era where college stars will have to consider the pay cut when becoming an NFL seventh rounder. At least it will be better for college ball. He then goes on to say, I can hop on the show and explain. It's all good. I think I got the point. Not really, but I don't know if I don't know. Do you want to hop on, Caleb? It's up to you, man. You can if you want. And this is referring back to his message where he says NCAA affiliated sports books to help combat student athlete game fixing. So it's to combat. I'm not getting it. So if you are understanding at any point, Mike, please explain it to me.
I'm not. I'm trying to read the article as I'm listening to the conversations and stuff. So it's something I'm gonna have to read.
Yeah.
Later and revisit it tomorrow or something, maybe.
But again, hopefully it all plays out. It all works out. And I don't want to start. I don't know. Listen, I grew up in an era where you didn't have company names on every stadium. So we've seen these kind of things happen over time. And again, I'm sure this isn't much different. Once it's a money matter, people will eventually get used to it. And again, we're eventually just going to be the old people that get shit out the top of the system. So as long as everybody's happy, I guess is all that matters. Caleb, how much longer is the show running? Give me like 5, 10. Probably about 5 or 10 more minutes, actually, Caleb. I was getting ready to wrap up and send to the website with Mike. I don't know. Let's play it by ear. Mike, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about the website?
The2dumyusers.com. Head on over there, everyone. We got all of our links to all of our social media over there. We got the merch store. You can get your Bob Nothing tees if you're a Bucko fan. We got some Steelers inspired stuff over there. The standard is the standard. And we got the blog all at the2dumyusers.com.
Go check it out, everybody. A lot of great stuff over at the website, www.the2dumyusers.com. That's www.the2dumyusers.com. Mike, you kind of answered the question today, so I'm going to change it up a little bit. The question of the day has to do with NFL coaches. And we determined earlier that John Harbaugh is just right behind Mike Tomlin, Mike, for the longest tenured coaches. Mike Tomlin coached 18 years, guys. The question of the day, how many years has John Harbaugh been coaching the Baltimore Ravens? Mike Tomlin just finished up his 18th season. The question is, how many seasons behind, basically, John Harbaugh is behind Mike Tomlin? 18 for Tomlin. How many for Harbaugh? Take a minute to think that over. We're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every day right here on YouTube. Mike, the question of the day, Mike Tomlin has 18 years in a row. He's the longest tenured coach in one of the 4 major main sports in North America. You were 100% right. John Harbaugh was right behind him. Mm-hmm. How many years has Harbaugh been coaching the Baltimore Ravens. Mike Tomlin has 18. What do you say?
17.
7, just one season less than Mike Tomlin?
One season less. That's what I'm going with.
And is this your final answer?
My final answer.
All right, got you locked in place. Take a minute, see if anybody else wants to take a shot at it. But the question of the day is, how many seasons does John Harbaugh have consecutively coached in the NFL? Mike Tomlin has just became the longest tenured present head coach in the 4 major North American sports. And we decided earlier in the show that John Harbaugh was less than right behind him, or I'm reading this comment, was right behind him. How many years was Harbaugh Baltimore's coach? John says 1 less than Tomlin, so that would put him with your answer as well, Mike, 17. Jen's saying too many. Get him the hell out of there. You know what? I like him because he's a choker.
Yeah.
You know, he won his early Super Bowls like we did. But, you know, what is, you know.
Him and Tomlin, man, they're like this.
Yeah, they are.
There's parallel careers, man. It's crazy.
You know, you have all these great players that you have now that all these great ones that, you know, this team just keeps continuing to choke. And guess what? Not winning any more than we are. So
he hears the same things down in Baltimore that Tomlin hears. Like, oh my God, he's still back. We should fire him. Then the other fans going, yeah, but this, that, and the other. It's just the similar parallels between the two franchises just keep running along. It's great.
Absolutely, man. Mike, so you did say 17 years. 17 is your answer. Final answer.
Final answer.
All right, guys. Question of the day. Mike Tomlin became the longest current tenured head coach in the 4 main North American sports, professional sports last week when Popovich retired. We decided earlier in the show that John Harbaugh was behind him. Mike, how many seasons? And you're saying 17. Mike, the correct answer was 17.
Boom.
17. So there you go. Congratulations on that. So John Harbaugh is the second longest tenured coach in the major 4 professional sports. I don't know if he's tied or anything like that, but I do know he's second, Mike, which is kind of a crazy thing to think about. At the end of the day, old John Harbaugh.
Yeah. All right. I had time to read through and figure out the sports betting thing.
Okay.
Just going to do a gist of it here. Genius Sports, they're a firm out of London. They're going to collaborate with the NCAA and provide data to sports books that promote responsible betting practices, included limiting risky bet types, ensuring compliance and safeguarding student athletes. So, like player props, like, oh, hey, you know, Joe Schmo, over under, you're going to have 10, you're going to score 10 points. Well, you can just start point shading that. And so they're going to, to be an official NCAA sports book and bet on the games, sounds like they're going to limit. There's going to be no prop bets to where a player can influence a game that way. They're going to be tracking stuff like negative outcomes on bets and wagers and injuries, official decisions, fan voted awards. There's going to be a lot of stuff that they're tracking and limiting what can be bet, what can be affiliated with the NCAA. They're going to provide revenue that they share for educational purposes for players and for gambling purposes to, like, hey, this is why you shouldn't be doing shit like this, blah, blah, blah. So sounds like they're trying to limit what you can bet on for the NCAA. Because in the pros, you can bet on a player prop to, rush for so many yards, score so many points. College, they want to limit that. So there is no implications of point fixing and point shaving and shit like that.
There shouldn't be. I mean, come on. It's fucking,
Yeah. It's like the marriage between the way the pros and now the college mixing gambling, coming into bed with each other, is just going to cause a mess, because we already see, like, are these officials? We saw it in the NBA. That guy was,
look how great the NBA is doing.
He was fixing games.
Yeah.
There's, rumors of, like, it was that guy missing points on buckets on purpose so his brother's betting the under so he can win money.
It's easy to do in basketball.
Oh, fuck yeah. And then the NFL, like, every big play that's missed, like, was this an official betting on the game? And then, why didn't we let our running back go back in and run for more yards? He was so close to getting this. Oh, did someone in the team bet for him not to do this? Oh, why is he dropping passes? Why is the quarterback forcing here? So I like sports betting, but once now they're all in bed with each other, you're getting bad shit. So at least right here, it sounds like the NCAA is trying to put some safeguards in.
Well, that's a good thing. Yinzer Joe, yes, that was correct. 1 year less than Tomlin, 17 years. Mike, and I was going to stay away from this, but since you went to a London source, I'm going to do the same. This is a free agency recap, Mike. This is what the Steelers are like after. This is from NFL in London. What the Steelers are like after the draft in free agency. This, you want to hear? We'll go through the positions real quick and what this source says if we upgraded, downgraded, or no change.
Yeah.
Okay, so real quick, guys, the quarterback since draft and the free agency, this source says we upgraded at the quarterback position. We upgraded at the quarterback position. It also goes on to say that we've downgraded at the running back position. We've upgraded at the wide receiver position, which I think we could all agree on that. No change at the tight end, which I think we could agree on that. Offensive tackles, we downgraded. Offensive interior linemen, we downgraded. Defensive tackles, we downgraded. Wasn't the guy that we drafted the defensive tackle?
Yeah, I don't understand how it's a downgrade.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And that's why I stayed away from this London source.
That one made no sense to me on that one.
Edge rushers, no change. Linebackers, no change. Cornerbacks, upgrade. And safeties, upgrade. Which, again, a lot of this makes no sense. But, again, I just wanted to dip into my London source here because you went to England there. But, Mike, this makes no sense to me whatsoever. People in Europe must have no idea what's going on in the NFL. Maybe that's why we don't play. Remember they used to, what was it, the NFL Europe, right?
Yeah.
Whatever happened to that?
Oh, it folded. It's dead and gone.
Yeah. The Frankfurt Galaxy. Come on. John says every time an outcome doesn't go a fan base's way, the rigged. I mean, we're human, right? I don't know. It's all crazy, man. Mike, anything if we just start getting ready to wrap it up?
No. I'm sorry, Caleb. I stole your thunder by reading.
You're more than welcome any day, Caleb. We were just kind of really turning that bend here. And you could very well come on tomorrow if you'd like. And anybody, just reach us. If anybody ever wants to come on, you could always email us. We'll figure something out. Because I know that Corey Beavers was certainly interested about a week ago. So we'll figure something
Caleb.
out.
I didn't mean to.
Even if we throw together like a game or something like that, we could always have guests. Mike, my thing is this. I've seen three things that are coming out this year that I'm excited about because we haven't had three things like this come out this close together in a long time. There's a new stream coming out called Fred. It's about Freddy Krueger, and it's going to be a 10-episode series. And it's like a Netflix or something like this. And it's like an hour a day, 10 or an hour an episode. There's 10 of them, and it's the early life of Freddy Krueger. I mean, you've heard and they've kind of implemented it into the storyline, but this show, Mike, it's called Fred, and it's going to be a stream show. And it's going to be the early life of Freddy Krueger. That, Mike, they are doing a prelude to the 13 Ghosts movies, which you and I were talking a little over the weekend.
Yes, I am ready for that one.
One of my favorite movies ever, 13 Ghosts, Matthew Lillard, Tony Shalhoub. They go into that house with all that weird glass, and this is going to be the pre to that. And it's going to show us how those ghosts became what they are and things like this. That, and also, Mike, there is another, I Know What You Did Last Summer, which people might say, oh, whatever. But that's still three cool, in my opinion, horror, spooky kind of things, Mike, coming out this year within these next 5 months. I think it's awesome. I haven't gotten into scary movies in a long time because, to be honest, there just really hasn't been any great ones.
Yeah.
Mike, Fred, 13 Ghosts, and I Know What You Did Last Summer. When Derpy, if he ever shows up, we could ask him because he's our movie guy. But I'm pretty excited about those three things. Mike, I Know What You Did Last Summer, I believe, is a movie coming out.
Yeah.
But the 13 Ghost and the Fred, they're both streaming shows. Yeah. So
I'm really the 13 Ghost one. That's I know you and I were talking about that off air earlier this weekend. It's like that movie. A lot of people you don't hear a lot of people talking about.
They don't appreciate that movie. That movie's actually.
I thought it was great. I remember when it came out, I was working at the video store. It came out. Well, you know what? I'm going to take this home and watch it. It was amazing. I love that movie. It's one of my favorite scary movies.
Mine too, dude. 13 Ghosts, totally underrated. One of the most underrated scary movies, I guess you would call it, in my opinion. If you haven't seen it, go see it. It's just got a really cool concept. It's a really cool movie, and that house is neat, and the ghost and Jackal. Come on.
Yeah, like I'm not a big like horror movie guy, scary movie guy. They don't do anything for me. Like I'll sit there and watch them, but they're not like I go out and seek them out. But 13 Ghosts, that's one you said that my interest was piqued immediately. Like I perked up in multiple places on my body when you told me that.
So this is the prelude to that, Mike. This is telling us how all those ghosts got the way they are and whatever. So that's neat. I can't wait for that. So just those few things caught my attention over the weekend. Aside from the Pirates getting swept, I guess that's kind of a horror story. But the Pirates will be back at it today. Again, they're in St. Louis, Mike, starting a 3-game series. Game 2 is going to be a 1:15. It's going to be real early tomorrow. And they wrap up with them. I think they play the Braves or somebody. It's not getting any better, believe me. Pirates really, really, really having a bad season from top to bottom.
Like, oh God. Like, can we just like replace the Buccos with the Savannah Bananas?
Yes.
Can we just like that's like who we're gonna cover from now on. It's the Savannah Bananas.
Ain't they supposed to be coming here this summer as well? The Savannah
I
Bananas?
think so, yes. Yeah, they just sold out a football stadium.
That's right.
I'd rather watch them and than the Buccos.
John says, London, didn't we kick their ass twice and bail them out twice? Tell them to stick to soccer and rugby. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about, John. Yes. Yes. The answer to all that is yes. The Redcoats. John also says, Broderick Jones at left tackle could be another horror show coming our way. It sure can. Would it be something if he just really puts it together and he comes out and has a great year? You know?
Be great.
Corey, what's up, my man? No, it's all good, brother. It's all good. He says, I prefer conspiracy movies over scary ones. Some of them feel so real, they're scary. I personally prefer comedy, but I like horror movies. I like conspiracy movies, but my favorite is comedy. Like, what's your favorite movie of all time?
Ooh, that's a tough one. It's a tough one. Damn.
Mine's Friday. I like Friday.
Friday. It's tough. Like Monty Python and the Holy Grail. God, that's a damn good one off the top of my head. Heat, another good one. Yeah, I don't know if I have a favorite movie.
I think my favorite movie all time is Friday, 1995. Ice Cube, Chris Tucker, all them guys. I think when it comes down to it, and I sit down and I think of all my favorite movies, I think ultimately that's probably my favorite. I may come up with one that I like better, but off the top of my head, I usually just generally stick with Friday. Caleb says, to summarize my thoughts on NCAA sports books, while I'm glad they are working to prevent player prop bets, what's to prevent them from colluding to make you're right, to make a team betting exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Corey says, I prefer comedy without John Cena's dumbass in it. Caleb, there have been instances in the NCAA of coaches fixing matches. And then the thing is, I mean, who knows the things that were just never caught?
Yeah.
There's no way of knowing sometimes these things. And this could be going on. It could be going on a lot more than we know. But
and now that they're now in the college is
not everybody
the NCAA itself is starting to get in bed with the sports book firms.
Exactly.
It's like I don't mind players getting paid. I don't mind gambling, all that. But once the gambling starts intermingling with the sports themselves, the sports start promoting them, like ESPN promoting ESPN has their own sporting app. Then they talk about the DraftKings. This matchup is this team's favored by this much on this sports book. That's 85 yards passing for Mahomes in the first half. Is he going to hit his over today? You hear that shit in the commentary now.
The thing is, it probably happens all the time. Believe me. Fucking freaking humans. We're not saints. I'm sure it happens a lot more than we know. Yes, Corey, Don't Be a Menace is one of my favorite movies as well.
I said, do we have
it falls in my top 10 all time. It really does. Dashiki, Swahili, and for doggy style. You know which other one I like too? I like that the big African guy that like that little scrawny white trailer chicken. Come here, my milk of magnesia. I love Don't Be a Menace.
Did they have the dude in the wheelchair that called him Crazy Legs?
Yeah, Crazy Legs. And yes, Half Baked is another one. These are all my top 10. Believe me, they truly are. Tortilla saying Ocean's 11. Caleb says, my thought that has gotten me laughed out of other sports shows He then goes on to say if a player makes below a certain amount, they should make a non-gambling bonus. Interesting. Jaws, if I hear that music and in the swimming pool, I will drown kids to get out first. As John says.
Dude, there's like times I've been in, like, just in my own private swimming pool and people there, and I feel like someone swim under me and they hit my feet. I'm like, is that a motherfucking shark?
Yeah.
That movie has traumatized me to the core to this day.
And yeah, and I just sink like a rock. I don't even swim well, so that's the thing about me. I'm the guy that has my feet in the water, so I don't have to worry about the sharks and Jaws like you guys.
See, I don't go to the beach. I just go with my own little pool.
Right.
My kiddie pool now. That's what I got. It's just safer that way.
Caleb says, to me, serious conversation about gambling and sports ethics, sane chatters. Half-Baked movie was a good movie. I mean, it's all great point.
It's just the dynamic that we have, baby.
Yeah.
I love it.
Hit me early tomorrow, I promise you, man. We were turning that. We were around in third. But also, I do want to say, Corey, do hit us up, man. We do have some ideas moving forward. Matter of fact, we have some pretty crazy ideas and big things coming up that you're actually not going to believe, and it's all coming here, rolling out. We're working on it all, believe me.
Yes.
All weekend long, we had our nose to the grind, but we do have some ideas. So if you do want to be a part of the show, or hop on, even if it's for a day, just for a day, for one show, feel free to communicate with us. Get hold of us via our email address,
the2dumbyensers@gmail.com,
or any of our social media or anything. Like I said, we're open to it, man. We got a lot of things going on. Sometimes more help the better. So coming up, it's going to be a lot of fun, guys. I do think that you're going to enjoy it.
Yes.
We're scraping and clawing to get to football season. I know it's tough sometimes, especially when the Pirates and the Penguins do what they're doing, and so it's going to be fun, guys. So if you do want to be involved in any capacity, please don't hesitate to just reach out to us. We're open to everybody. Doors always open, guys. Corey says, Caleb, don't get me started on rigging and shit. I have some serious thoughts on rigged games, especially in the NFL. You know what? Especially as of Mike, they've been in bed with the gambling entities as of the past 4 or 5 years. Games are becoming very different than they have always been in the NFL. I'll just put it that way.
I'm gonna write down the note here and share it with you after the show for an idea.
Yeah.
But no, that's just wild. The rigged and stuff. Like I don't know. I can be swayed on that one. I can be swayed big time.
Let's see. I'm still down to be on the show for sure. Now that I'm back from Louisiana for family reasons. Yeah, man. I'm glad everything's going better for you. And like I said, dude, feel free to hit us up, guys. We have a lot of things coming up. And again, it's going to be pretty wild ride. So bridging us from here to the Steelers season is going to be a lot of fun. We're working on all that stuff as we speak. I do want to say thank you, everybody, for coming and hanging out and checking us out today. We do appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. We couldn't do it without you guys. Thank you so much. You're really amazing. I want to say thank you to everybody on the board. You guys and gals always keep things interesting on the board as well. And everybody at home or on the road or in school or wherever you may be listening to this show now or at any time, we would thank you as well. You guys are all amazing. Thank you so much. Caleb says, hasn't most of the NFL instances been when players have been on the IL or don't play in a game? If you want your stomach to turn, look up Iowa State football betting scandal from a few years ago. Interesting. Maybe we'll have to do that. Corey says, study gematria. It's the practice of rigging things through numerology. Gematria. I've heard that before. Definitely heard that before. Mike, anything else, man? Last and final time. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Remember, if you're coming here for the draft in 2026, we get to snuggle.
That's right.
Snuggle.
Bring
Snuggle
extra
feelings.
pillows, because if not, you have to all cuddle on Mike's pillows. So just keeping that in mind, guys.
Remember, I'm built for comfort.
There you go. Bucko's at it today. We'll be back first thing tomorrow at our regular time to get back at it with all the Steelers scoop up to date that we could find, we could scrape up, and from the NFL and all around the sports world, especially here right in Western Pennsylvania. I do want to say one more time, thank you to everybody for coming and hanging out, man. You guys are awesome. We do 100% appreciate you guys. Corey says it's all used for betting purposes. Oh, for the Gma, what is it? Gematria.
This is like the time when you're trying to talk about melatonin and melanin and got them
Yes.
confused.
This is always it's always the last 5 minutes of the show. I got
This
16 things going on in front of me, and then people put like these words I have to
I
pronounce.
love it. I love watching you
But
struggle with the
thank you
English
so
language.
much, guys. Also, I just want to throw this out, Mike. I don't know. Just to clear the air, from the other day. I just want to clear this air because I don't want any rotten grapes here with anybody. If you would look it up right now, go to Shuck and Jive. To behave in a deceptive or evasive manner, often with the goal of fooling or misleading someone, which I believe a lot of times sports people do this because they want you to think one thing. And obviously, a lot of things we talked about during the show, I'd say would fall in that category. But guys, I do appreciate everybody coming back this week after Mike tried to scare everybody away. But besides for that,
Cuddles.
I do want to say you can get that opportunity to make it up by coming on with Mike this time next year. We can smooth it all out. So, guys, no, on a serious note, thank you so much, everybody. You guys are great. For Mike in the Steeler Central Mobile Studio, for myself, the two dumb yinzers. Everybody have a great Monday, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Deuces.